Anywho, all right, so back here, this is some type of climbing rose. It wasn't tagged, but I did get it on clearance, and this was on clearance too. These were both half off at a garden center up in Middlefield. And this one has a ton of buds. And so I'm super excited for this to open up. They're beautiful, like heavy petaled, very petite roses. And it's a climber, so I'm hoping it climbs. This is my office window. I'm hoping it climbs somewhat without getting absolutely aggressive and crazy. But based on its growth habits so far, I don't see it being a massive problem. It's not throwing out shoots from the ground, and it's not super thorny. So I do love this rose and hope it doesn't get eaten alive like the other ones. All right. Again, this is another hydrangea that did not bloom last year and not looking great for this year, but that's okay. So these are some clearance violas that I bought, and this fern, there's two pieces here, and there's another piece over in the shade garden that I bought one massive, oh, and actually these containers were on clearance as well. They had, sorry about the noise. These ferns, I got a huge, massive hanging basket fern for $5, and I have three plants. I mean, this is a little sparse, but I'm thinking within the summer it'll fill in, and I just couldn't throw away these pansies because they're just so sweet. So I threw them in that basket for now. So this is a twist and shout hydrangea that I bought last year on half price. So it was around, I want to say $16. I should have waited another week and I would have got it for 75% off, but you know, it's okay. And this is a quick fire hydrangea that I bought on clearance for $6.75 on 75% off. So that was a fantastic thing. This thing is about to explode, and it gets a lot of shade, considering how much these want full sun, but it's doing pretty well. So this beautiful little area, these begonias and these summer crush hydrangeas, this is why you ask. So I am at Lowe's, as you can tell by the amount of times he was pulling plants and putting them on the cart. I guess he was doing it to water it. And I was like, oh, you know, excuse me, are you going to mark these down? Because I'm looking for hydrangeas. He's like, well, I wasn't going to, but if you can take whatever you want and I'll give them to you for half price. So I sure did. I got 1 and 2. So they ended up being, I want to say $11 each, and I had a gift card. So they were free to me. And yeah, so then there's these two little hostas that I got. They're not clearance, but they were in one small little 4-inch, but there was 2 plants in it. So I divided them, pop. And so ended up being about 2 for $5, which is a great deal. So these begonias are, 1, they're massive. 2, they came in one of those 18-pack yellow containers, 18 count individuals, where a lot of them had 2 plants per cell. So there was a flat of them, but they were missing 1. So I was like, you know, these are missing 1. Would you guys be willing to mark them down? They're like, well, if you're willing to take it with 1 less, I'll absolutely give it to you for half off, which I thought was fantastic. So I sure did scoop those up. So these, and then the rest are over at the shed where I just told you about the daylilies that I moved. So all of these came home with me, $9, and again, they are massive. And to me, like, annuals are kind of hard because they have impact, but you throw them away. So, but it does add so much color to this spot. So I had to get them. So yeah, then there's a couple of lilies that I popped in that a friend gave to me. Some more violas that I bought on clearance that I'm just not ready to get rid of because they're just, again, they're so happy and so sweet with their little faces. So some of these I would say are some of these hostas. I know this hosta for sure I got on clearance last year, 75% off, but I don't know how many times I divided it. So I think I bought it for $1. These I got for $1, and I split this one and this one. And then actually, I'm not sure what I did, to be honest, but I remember getting them for $1. They were getting rid of it. They were just marking everything. That was in a gallon size container for $1. So I don't know if they were each individually $1 or if I divided them. I can't remember. So some of these hostas were originally with the house. Some of them I divided. And there's the rest of the fern that I was telling you about before that I've been dividing. And yeah, this I'm kind of going through pretty quick. Oh, and this heuchera, and there's another one down there. I did get, again, same type of scenario. Got them from Walmart for $4. They were semi-distressed. They really weren't, but I was like, oh, you know, I'm looking for these distressed plants. They were sitting here for days without being marked down. I used to others sit here, and they were throwing plants away. So they're like, well, if you can find something similar, I will give them to you for $4 each. So I sure did. I sure got two, because as you can see, there's a lot of green in this bed. There's a little bit of blue with that hosta right there, but there's a lot of green. So I'm trying to break it up a little bit. Do want some more yellow hosta. Might put a shrub in here, I'm not quite sure. And then there's this Jacob's Ladder that has a ton of weeds around it, but this was $7 marked down at Lowe's. It was right after it bloomed, so sometimes you can get deals just because they're not in bloom anymore. So now would be a great time to look at your big box stores or garden centers. Sometimes they just take better care of their stuff, so they're less likely to mark it down because they typically have the staff and the know-how of how to kind of refresh. But if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, not as much, but definitely Lowe's, if you go and get like a lilac right now, rhododendron, azaleas, a lot of that stuff gets marked down because this is not in bloom anymore. So it doesn't have the freshness that comes with seasonal, because they're looking to put out the things that look the prettiest at this point, right? So that's just knowing when to buy, just like it's the best time to buy summer clothes at the end of summer and winter coats at the end of February when they're trying to move in for the next season. So it's same thing. So then there's this barberry I did get. This was $4.25 that I bought last year at Lowe's. Again, this is more of that Shasta Daisy. Again, just continual divides. I bought a couple pots and just kept dividing them because why not? If most of them take, which I think all except maybe 2 took. So that's just, I mean, you know, it comes down to about $1.60 per perennial, which is, you know, amazing. Then these 2 are some Gaillardia blanket flowers, I think is the other name for it. And those I did buy. These came in a 3-gallon pot for $10. They're normally about $20 at Home Depot. And it had 2 plants, so I sure did. I divided it. So they ended up being $5 per perennial, which is definitely where my price point tends to be for perennials. The last on this side of the house is this grass. This is a feather something, I don't know, but this is a perennial grass that will get a little bit taller than it is currently, and I did get it for, I want to say $5 or maybe $4.50, something like that, under $5, that I bought last year at Home Depot. All right, a couple more sections, and I know this video is getting long, so if you've been watching this long, I appreciate you just taking a walk with me on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in June in Connecticut, Zone 6B. So this perennial bed this is a perennial, it was perennials and I moved everything. This in the middle is a viburnum. This is an opening day viburnum. It did not bloom this year, which is fine. I'd rather it create strong roots, and I have it as this beautiful welcoming spot. This is the end of our driveway, and so that's there. I got it for like $6.75, again 75% off in clearance last fall. And then flanking that, there's 1 and 2 Russian sage. They were $1 when I bought those hostas for $1 out of the gallon size containers. Bought 1, 2. They're $1 each, and they're coming back pretty awesome. So they're tough plants. You just got to buy the right things. That's one thing I did learn. Like certain things they just didn't translate. Like echinacea, typically they're a very hardy plant, but none of my echinacea that I bought on clearance came back. Not a single one, except for those ones that I bought at Home Depot. But I did buy those probably towards the middle of September and not like November where I bought these. And so these bright pink There's two types of sun patients I have in here. I wanted them to fill in and just do like a mass carpet of flowers as the entrance. The bright pink ones I did buy on clearance. It's a flat of 6 for $7, which if you were to buy like one individual sun patient, they're at least $5 for a single one. So sometimes you just pay for time if you get a full price one, because you're getting a bigger plant. If you're willing to wait, like I am, because I know how long our season is, you can buy it in the smaller end and then just have time be your currency, and end up paying less money by doing it that way. So in here, there's not a ton. There is another hydrangea that I bought on clearance, 75% off. Again, it's like $6.75. Over here, there is another, see again, another with the Shasta daisy. I'm either gonna hate them or just be like so happy and thankful that I did this, because I put them everywhere. There's 1, 2, 3 daylilies. Again, they're just beautiful. They're beautifully clumping. So I'm very excited about these. These are the Rosy Returns. 2 of them are Rosy Returns, and another one is like a purple and green one. I don't remember the name. Some type of hawthorn something. I don't know. If you really are interested, you can let me know and I will send you a picture of it. Or I'll do another tour when they are in bloom. And then these are creeping phlox that I put down here. So this bed was covered with, it was like a juniper, like a ground covered juniper. We had a really warm day in February, excuse me. And I was just done. I just hacked it. I was like, there's real estate here. There's more areas for me to plant flowers. So I pulled it, and I'm so thankful I did. It just looks so much better. I moved a lot of stuff to fill in this space, and this is going to be a predominantly perennial garden, just because I didn't really want the maintenance of having to water annuals. Right now, just to fill in some space, I did plant some dahlias, just to kind of, again, fill in space, bring more color, because again, it's still very, very green. And then there is just one more clearance plant, and I did leave the best. I want to say it's the best for last, but you can be the determining factor. That way we will be under 30 minutes for this video. And shout out to my daughter Grace for editing this because, yeah, bless her heart. So here is one of my most, I feel like it's an epic find. This is a limelight. I have another quickfire hydrangea. I bought 3 because I was originally going to put them on this side of the house, but it gets way too much shade. And I just got frantic, and I pulled them as soon as I could and repot planted them. So it's kind of an experiment. So this one gets, the one I just showed you gets full sun. This one gets pretty much full sun. I think there's a few hours where this tree shades it. And the same thing with this limelight. So I like to do a new border, especially on this side, going towards the road. There's just some random things growing in, which is fine. There's some privacy, but no one lives next door at this point. So I would like to have something really pretty here, and then potentially bring it down this way, kind of like a secret garden. You see, I moved this flagstone, the slate, sorry, to kind of make a path. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna unfortunately get rid of this lilac. It's just the placement. It blooms beautifully, and then it kind of is just there, and it kind of is just leaning because I think it's trying. I didn't stake it. It was here when we moved in, and it's beautiful in the spring, but it's just the placement for me. So we probably, my husband and I decided that we were going to take it down, and then we'd probably just continue like a large shrub border around here. These are not smoke bushes, fire bushes or something. They're beautiful in the fall, but they're just basic for now, which is fine. We can leave them. I think they're the neighbors anyway. And then probably come out from where the gate is and do like a deep shrub border, but that will take some time and some years because that's just a lot of sheet mulching, because I am not digging out this grass. So just as I get more clearance plants. So as I find more limelights and quick fires, I mean, I'm gonna fill that in. And I think that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching and taking all this time out of your day to see my garden, and I will do updates as time goes on, just so you can see how things fill in, and also more for also for myself to kind of see the progression of our garden and what we're doing here. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.